Aside from altering the way lawyers are paid, the paper looks at changing the way experts who give evidence in court cases are paid. What are the changes there?
This is an area that has been of concern to the profession for some time. While legal aid lawyers are often paid at rates in the region of £50 to £70 an hour, the experts operating under the legal aid system can sometimes be paid £150 to £250 an hour, sometimes even more than that. And there's long been a feeling that many experts are being paid quite exorbitant rates for relatively routine reports. So it's an area that the lawyers have long wanted to see tackled, and this paper does propose some first steps towards that. First of all, there is going to be codification of the rates paid for routine and common tasks, and there is going to be a reduction in the benchmark rates of around 10%, so that should bring some immediate savings from the amounts paid to experts. Secondly, in the longer term, the government is proposing moving to more fixed and graduated fees for experts' reports, and there is a structured proposal for this contained as an annex to the Green Paper. So there are some positive proposals here for bringing some control to the payments to experts that's been missing for so long.
Now, Andrew, legal aid is currently entirely funded through tax revenue, but the paper is looking at a couple of alternatives to bring in additional money to the legal aid scheme. The first looks at harnessing money from lawyers' clients' accounts. How will that work, and is it a viable suggestion?
Well, firstly, it's a bit like a tax on the legal profession. As many people who are listening to this will know, is we have client accounts, and that's where our client funds go, and most of the interest that earns on client's account has to go back to the client. We do benefit in some ways. We do actually able to keep some of the interest, particularly because interest is pooled, because it gets more money on a higher amount of client's account money. We also benefit by the fact that we can do better deals with our banks because we have high amounts in clients' accounts. But what the government is suggesting is that we either have one or two options here. One is that there is a central fund which all solicitors' clients' account money gets paid into, and then the interest on that is taken by the government to help fund the legal aid system. I mean, it's a tremendously idea, I really think, actually, because if you had a situation whereby this sole account was responsible for all the monies coming in and out, on a completion day, say a Friday before bank holiday, if the computer system went down, you'd probably have removal vans all the way up the motorway waiting for telephone calls and to let know that the government system was back online again. So there's a big problem with that. The second suggestion, however, is that solicitors voluntarily have to pass on the interest extra that they earn into the central fund, and then that's used to actually pay for legal aid, a bit of a top-up. I don't see why that should happen, really. And the idea that that might be made a disciplinary offence if solicitors don't do it. If solicitors want to do it voluntarily, that's another matter. But to have a mandatory saying that if you don't pay this in, you're going to have disciplinary proceedings taken against you, I don't think that's right. It's just a tax on the profession.
Well, what about the second proposal, the supplementary legal aid scheme, taking money from the damages that clients who've been funded by legal aid?
Well, this is read my lips, many more taxes, I think. This in a sense is having a tax on successful claimants. You know, why should they have to pay part of their damages to actually fund other actions? The whole idea under English law, we don't have punitive damages in the way they have in America. The idea of damages in this country is to put people back into the place that they would have been if an accident didn't happen or a claim did not have to be made. And the idea that some of that money should then have to go to fund other actions because the government feels unable to fund legal aid properly, I think is wrong.